her, but hold tight, because Diana Ross still got me feeling a certain way about her when she's like, I'm not black. Well, bitch, what color are you? I'm just Diana. I get it. Now, I'm Uptown NayRob, but a bitch is black. Hello there, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com. Today's lookies will be our Layana bangles, and as usual, our animal print turban. As you know, all of our turbans come with a free gift. And if you are not already a part of this book club, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube. And you babies, yes, you can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, let's continue talking about Call Her Miss Ross, the unauthorized biography of Diana Ross by our dude J.R.T. Berry Gordy was nothing if not brilliant at the art of saving face. He soon began telling his friends that it was actually he who masterminded Diana's multi-million-dollar RCA contract. Yeah, she wanted out, he said, so I got her this big deal. What the hell? I thought it was the least I could do. RCA was a brand new world for Miss Diana Ross. She was completely surrounded by yes people. No one to disagree with her. No one to tell her what to do. These new few years would not be easy ones. Diana had become more lonely since Gene Simmons was proving to be an undependable lover and more confused than ever. She was determined to forget her own way and prove wrong anyone who felt she had made a mistake by leaving the security of Gordy and Motown. Let's go back right quick. So we talked about Gene Simmons already, right, child? Okay, so when I was getting the thumbnail together for Gene Simmons, or for the Gene Simmons, part, okay, I found out that that was the Kiss dude with the tongue, okay? Wow. And a lot of y'all was like, Gene Simmons had them girls sprung because of that tongue. Now, when I was a child, I didn't understand that. I just was like, why is his tongue like that, Grandma? Is that something that's not, is that not right, Granny? Why does it look, is he part, I don't know, Grandma. Is he a human being? Is that a reptile tongue? Is he okay? Now, as an adult, I'm like, oh. And then one of y'all told me that he was part black, or that he had black in him. Y'all, you mean to tell me that Israeli dude had the tongue and the part black? All I can say is, Diana, girl, I get it. All right, you know how it is. You wake up one day, you like, oh, this man ain't offering me nothing but this bedroom. I might need to move on from this, okay? So at first, I was like, why would she be with the Kiss dude? Why? But she was with that Kiss dude. In trying to run her own career, she would make many blunders, some of them serious, some of them foolish. In her quest to achieve what she would call perfection in my life and career, she would make enemies along the way. Of course, it's often unfairly difficult for women to be taken seriously in the business. This probably can be compounded if the lady is also emotional, volatile, and self-centered. At RCA, she believed everyone would respect her. the same way Columbia Records respected Barbra Streisand. However, Diana Ross would find that personal friendships did come in handy on occasion. When problems arose, no one at RCA would care about her. In time, she would learn to complain incessantly about the lack of personal interest in her career from her record label. Diana said that she had tried to get Bernard Edwards and Nile Rodgers, the duo from Chic, who produced her biggest Motown album, Diana, to produce her first RCA album. But they wanted creative control, and she could not give up creative control. Finally, she decided to produce it herself. She didn't seem to have a clue about how to do this, but RCA indulged her just the same. She surrounded herself with studio technicians who did know what they were doing, and the album Why Do Fools Fall in Love was finally released in September 1981, 6 months after its due date. You know, my mama can't stand Diana Ross, even though she looks like her. Her and Diana Ross have very similar qualities, right? The cheekbones, you know, I mean, my mother is beautiful. Now I see why my stepfather married her, or she was beautiful, because my stepfather loved Diana Ross, right? And when the song came out, my mama was like, she stole that song from the junkie. I don't know why, but I guess being the daughter and wanting to do everything different from the mama, I fell in love with Diana Ross. What Why Do Fools Fall in Love did for me was encourage the research, or for me to look into Frankie Lyman and his career. Okay, a very, 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 very tragic situation. You know, I thought that the little boy died at like 15, 16 years old, you know, off of dope, but he actually made it to like 26, I think it was. But I love the song. She was able to remake the song and it be successful. When she wanted to re-record the Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers hit, Why Do Fools Fall in Love, for RCA, most people working with her thought it was foolish. If she was really trying to go forward with her career, why was she doing oldies? But the single would be a top 10 hit. And so would its follow-up, Mirror Mirror. The album would be certified platinum, but it was successful mostly because there was still some of the Motown magic dust about. People were curious about her, and she was coming off a long string of Motown records. At this time, Diana decided to involve her ex-husband, Bob Silverstein, who lived with his new wife, Susan, 30 minutes away in nearby Connecticut, in some of her business affairs as president of her management company. In that capacity, Silverstein attended most of Diana's meetings, sitting directly behind her and looking over her shoulder. At business conferences at Glickman Marks, everyone would introduce themselves, and then Howard Marks, her then manager, would introduce Diana. She, in turn, would introduce Bob, but rather than portray him as an advisor, Diana would say, "This is Bob Silverstein, the father of my children." It seems that she wanted to be certain that none of the office employees would mistakenly discuss with Bob her romance with Gene Simmons. Okay. I get it. I get it, you know, because Diana wants to appear, you know, perfect, you know. She don't want people whispering in the office, you know, Gene Simmons is shizzing on her. You know that, right? And she don't want Bob to overhear it because she's worried about, you know, Bob coming to her. Wait a minute, you got my kids around this womanizer, misogynist pig with the long pickle tongue? Said a former Glickman Mark employee, what we didn't know then but learned later was that Bob was preparing to manage her career himself through a company they were starting, RTC Management. Bob had rhythm and blues singer Chaka Khan under his managerial wing at this time, and Diana enjoyed dabbling in the management of Chaka's career. In the summer of 1981, Diana Ross interviewed prospective candidates to distribute a cosmetic line for one of her new business ventures, JFF Enterprises, Ltd. She envisioned a cosmetic line called Diana Makeup Base, Diana Blusher, etc. Howard Marks, the manager, had discussed the concept with Revlon and set up a meeting with executives from that firm in Glickman Marks' offices. This was not to be a line of black cosmetics, Diana Ross, who resents being pigeonholed as a black star, made that very clear. The Revlon representative showed up with graphs and charts ready to sell Miss Ross on the idea of how much they could do for her in this venture. Everyone was seated around an oblong conference table with Diana holding court at one end. 4 men from Revlon were seated at one side of her, and 3 representatives from Glickman Marks, including Howard Marks, on the other side. After a few pleasantries, it was time to get down to business. Miss Ross, one of the Revlon spokesmen, eagerly began. "We are certain that you could do quite a bit for the black woman's market of cosmetics. Now on the graphs you will see." According to one of the Glickman Marks representatives present at the meeting, Miss Ross shot Howard Marks an exasperated look. Her fingers tightened on the edge of the table. The Revlon executive continued talking as Diana rose. He stopped. Everyone around the table politely stood up in unison and watched as Miss Ross very elegantly walked out of the room without saying a word. She closed the door behind her. So like I read, Diana said very, very strongly, this is not a black woman's line, because Diana does not see herself as black or white. Okay. That's a hard pill for me to swallow. But Diana Ross made it very clear that she did not want this to be a black product line. Okay. So when the dude said, "Oh, you can do so much for black, women, blah, blah, blah," Diana Ross got up and left. Okay. They sitting there. Ooh. One of the sisters came in and gave refreshments. Okay. Her manager, one of them, what is his name? Mark. I don't know. But Mark was like, "Ooh, let me check on her because it's been about 30 minutes. When he came back in to tell them, "Oh, Diana Ross is gone," because she made it very clear to you guys that she did not want this to be a black product line. The executive from Revlon said that, "Oh, Diana Ross is tripping because you can't have one line for both races. You can't do it because black skin is different from white skin." We know this, okay? We know this just because of the melanin factors. But it was an insult to her because when she sat down at the table, she said, "I do not want this to be a black product line." The presentation from Revlon could have been so much different. You could have got what you wanted and said easily, "Okay, Miss Ross, because you do not want this to be catered to black women only, we're going to have to hire an advisor to cater to white women's skin." But hold tight, because Diana Ross still got me feeling a certain way about her when she's like, "I'm not black." Well, bitch, what color are you? "I'm just Diana." I get it. Now, I'm Uptown NayRob, but a bitch is black and gay, okay, and 50. One of the Glickman Marks people told Revlon representatives as they walked to the elevator, "Miss Diana Ross is not black. Not in her mind, and not in the mind of anyone who works for her. She crosses all color barriers." But that's foolish. When it comes to cosmetics, a Revlon executive tried to argue, makeup and moisturizers vary for different skin colors. And if you're black, too goddamn bad, Diana's representative said, cutting him off. "You guys just lost yourself a sweet deal." Glickman Marks was said to receive approximately 300 requests a year from black organizations asking for Diana Ross's involvement. Could Miss Ross lend her name to the United Negro College Fund? Could Miss Ross endorse the Black Women of America Foundation? Could Miss Ross appear on the Black Gold Awards? The office staff usually did not bother to ask her about these requests because Diana Ross rarely involves herself publicly in any Black causes or with any Black organizations. Now, I don't know what to say about that. At the end of 1981, Diana, now 37, decided it was time to declare total independence. She severed her ties with Glickman Marks and officially started her own management firm, RTC Management Corporation. RTC are the initials of her three daughters, Rhonda, Tracy, and Chutney. If Bob Silverstein had intended to be a part of this arrangement, he either changed his mind or Diana changed it for him because from then on, he no longer appeared to be involved in her career. Eventually, Silverstein and his second wife, Susan, opened a dog-cat nutrition store in Manhattan. Okay, all right, I can accept that. I mean, moving on from Diana is a feat. Diana was excited about her new business venture and instructed RCA to issue a press release entitled Diana Ross, a Woman in Business, outlining the purposes of many other new Diana Ross companies. Diana Ross Productions, Rosstown Music and Rossville Music, Shondi Inc., JFF Enterprises Ltd., and Anade Film Productions Inc. Loeb and Loeb, the Los Angeles law firm with whom Diana Ross had been doing business, continued to represent her. Diana turned 38 in March 1982 and hosted another party, my annual 29th birthday celebration, at the home she still owned in Beverly Hills. Girl, been there, done that. You know what I think I decided to do now that I'm 50? I'm not going to get no older. Every year from this point on, I'm turning 50. Mary Wilson was one of the many celebrity guests. She told George Christie of The Hollywood Reporter, Berry Gordy now says I should have gone solo like Diana, but I told him I didn't have him or Motown behind me. She revealed to someone else that she was considering writing a book. But whatever you do, don't tell Diana or she'll throw me out. You better believe it. Get that bitch out of here! Diana and Gene Simmons danced the night away. Gene and I are not even thinking about marriage. I guess I'm sinking in a man the same relationship I had with my father, Diana told reporter Colin Dungard. I mean, Gene Simmons, okay, you don't want to keep that nigga. Basically, Diana Ross said to the reporter, he ain't good enough. I mean, he might be good enough in the bedroom, but he ain't good enough for me. Finally, Diana decided to break off with Gene. It was quick and quite mysterious. Perhaps Diana's decision was hastened by her apparent jealousy of Cher. The hell that mean? Old school, put your hands up! Put on, let's go! If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook, subscribe, visit Up Top Beauty for these Layana Wood bangles. And remember this, the same people that you meet on the way up will always be the same people that you meet on the way down. My naysayers, my patron loves, my love bugs, my bellas, be safe out there. They got a new variant, y'all. They got a new variant. Continue wearing your mask. Peace.